Michael Murphy here, former FLW Tour pro and full-time guide on Lake Murray. I'm going to give you the overview of Lake Murray where the Forrest Wood Cup is this year. It's 50,000 acres, 500 miles of shoreline. It's a pretty good sized lake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into three sections. In the lower end, I'm going to say that's the lake section. You have a lot of bait down there, a lot of your striper have migrated down there, and the bass have followed them. So you're going to have a good numbers of fish, but it's open water fishing, so you got to get creative with that deep water. You've got cane piles, you've got brush piles, and now you also have this grass that's growing out there in that 7 to 15 foot range, which is a little different than last time. So you have a lot of good stuff for them fish to position on. When it was won in 2014, Anthony Gagliardi was focusing down by the dam. What he was chasing was a little bit of wind, but mostly herring. The way they were setting up on the cane piles, the brush piles, and these offshore points and humps. In the morning, he would target these fish as they were schooling, or even during the day once the wind kicked up. But when there was downtime, then he would choose his battles. He would focus on that brush and that cane with a drop shot. Also on the lower end was Brent Ehrler. Brent Ehrler had much of the same strategy of Anthony Gagliardi, but tend to focus more on the brush and less on the schooling fish. He did take the opportunity to catch some schooling fish as they would come up, but would focus exclusively on that brush pile, targeting it with his electronics and really pinpointing those fish and how they were positioning on that brush with a drop shot. The midsection, I'm going to move up the lake. You can draw a line right around the mouth of Buffalo Creek. Come on down, you got Crystal Lake, Hollow Creek, and then right above Drew Island. That section of the lake, you're starting to get shoreline. You got a lot more docks in close proximity. You got color change, clear water. That midsection didn't necessarily play last time, but it's a sleeper. That's where a lot of big bags come out of. These fish move around a lot in here. One day they'll be here, next day they won't. So somebody could set up right here and catch a really big bag, but can they put it together for multiple days? Then you have the upper section. Well, as you get up, you have a lot of the river fishing stuff. You have the shoreline grass, you do have some docks, but it starts to transition into more river fishing. Overhanging trees, rock, and that sort. You don't have as much bluebacks up there, but you have the crawfish, you have the bluegill, you have the shad. So if somebody comes here, doesn't understand the herring, they can easily settle into their comfort zone and really be successful up there. When Michael Bennett won the Cup in 2008, he fished both the upper section and the midsection. His focus was the upper section where he was targeting matted grass with a frog. As the day would go on, he would come down to the midsection and target that same grass and continue his bite. The last time the Cup was here in 2014, Scott Canterbury, who finished second, he focused on the upper section with buzz frogs, topwaters, and flipping docks. He focused on the bluegill bites and the shad bites first thing, and he's definitely a player to watch with this shallow water fishery. Lake Murray is a great venue for the Forrest Wood Cup. As we discussed before, you've got the three sections of the lake that are going to play up to these guys' strengths that are here from all over the nation and all over the world. It really could be anybody's game based on what they run into this week. So stay tuned and watch how this plays out.